Hello. Good morning. It is the last day of the Untamed and Unapologetic Challenge. And today, I think we saved the best topic for last. And we're talking about sisterhood. And I think that I'm really passionate about this one because it's sort of the foundation of everything. It's like how we relate to our own feminine and how we relate to other women. Hi, Emily. Good morning. And if you're watching, just say like where you're tuning in from and what your intention is for watching this. So Emily's joining. Woohoo! I'll just recap so far where we have been. So today is day 5 of Untamed and Unapologetic. And the whole purpose of this challenge is to help us feel more empowered, have more passion, more pleasure, and more purpose in our lives. And so and each day we look at a different archetype that holds us back as women. So the first day was on the people pleaser, the parts where we try to tamp down our truth to please other people. The antidote is truth. After that, we had the resentful martyr, and that's when we're giving, and then become resentful. And the antidote to that one is desire. And then we had the approval seeker, and this is the part of us that wants to do everything according to the social script, or we look outside of ourselves for answers, and the antidote to that one is faith. And then yesterday, we talked about the shutdown virgin, and that was all about our relationship with our sex and our sexuality. And the antidote to that one, as you may guess, is sex. And today, the topic is the competitive frenemy. And we're talking about our relationships with other women. And the antidote is sisterhood. So we'll talk more about that. Yeah, just drop an emoji if you're watching. How are you feeling? How's it going? I know we have some more people tuning in a little bit. All right. I think we're just going to dive in. So, and just for fun, these are my notes for today. I got really into drawing this morning. So the competitive frenemy, it starts with this better than, less than dance, where it's like, I'm either superior to you or inferior to you. And it's this constant kind of weighing, competing, how do we each measure up is the flavor of it. And the outcome is like we become scared of people that we feel like they're better than us, other women, and we dominate or control women that feel less than us. I have to say, I was helping hold a women's intensive maybe a year ago, and that was the number one thing the women said that they wanted from this women's intensive, is they were sick of the better than, less than game. Can you relate? As you're watching this, just let me know, like, yep, can relate. I know I definitely can. And I think that it goes back to the old patriarchal model of competition. And by patriarchy, I mean the cultural system, not men, but like the cultural system is set up to encourage women to compete with each other. And men, by the way. It's just look at the way it's like businesses compete with each other, women compete with each other, nations compete with each other. There's like this competition, but it doesn't have to be that way. Okay, I'm going to go into more of that in a second, but I want to tell you my personal story now. So sisterhood has always been kind of a challenge. I would say it has been a challenge for me. Like, this is one area where I've grown a lot as a woman. For a long time, I didn't trust women very much. When I was in high school, it was my senior year. Oh, Carolina, I'm about to tell my story. And just drop an emoji. Let me know how you're feeling. For a long time, when I was in high school, it was my senior year, and I had this little group of girlfriends, and someone pulled me aside on the bus in the last week of senior year. They were like, hey, I just want you to know all of your girlfriends have been talking about you behind your back, and they have a nickname made up for you, about you. And I was just like, what? I was devastated. And I didn't know like who to believe or what was true or what was not. And it was really like painful. Can anyone relate watching this? Like, has anyone had a situation where they felt like betrayed or backstabbed by other women? Like, I know a lot of women have stories like this. Carolina feels like a rocket ship queen. That's how I see you too. Yeah, let me know if you can relate. And then I have one other example is when I was in college, I had this group of friends and I was really busy. I was doing a lot of things. They started going out and not inviting me to things. And I was like, why are they excluding me? And this went on for a while. And they were like, we're not excluding you. But I also just had that sinking feeling. Like I remember once they were like, we're going out. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to run upstairs and get my bag. And I'll see you in a minute. And I ran down the stairs and they were gone. They had left without me. And I just remember feeling like a loser, like a total loser. Emily says she can relate. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I think a lot of us carry around these little spots where we got hurt by the other women or our feminine side got injured because of what we're doing to each other is crazy. And so these little moments growing up with women, I became kind of distrustful of women. I didn't like them. I didn't trust them. I was like, women are going to hurt me. Anyone else have that story? And then I remember I was in a women's group, and one of my teachers, Rachel Hemsey, if you know her, she just turned to me and this other woman, Rachel, a different Rachel, and she was like, you two hate women. And I was like, what are you talking about? I love women. I have lots of friends. And she was like, no, like, you hate women. And it took me a while to actually, like, start to see what she was pointing to. And anyway, that comment led me to enroll in my first women's intensive, which was a week-long women's retreat. And as part of it, we had to look at the spots where we were doing what they called sororicide. So the spots where we are killing other women. And we had this one exercise. We're all milling around, and you had to go up to another woman and tell her a time when you killed her. Like, undercut her, said something mean, did something passive-aggressive, left her out. And I remember this woman came up to me, and she's like, you know, when we were on the bus, I was talking to you and another woman. I ignored you from the conversation because I felt jealous of you. And I started crying. I was like, oh, my God. I can't believe that is exactly what had just happened. And I felt so sad. And then I had to own up to the times when I had been not a good friend to other women. Hi, Tiffany. Welcome. We're talking about sororicide, spots we kill other women. Emily said, when I was in 6th grade, I went to a party for a girl's birthday. It was supposed to be an overnight. I ended up having a fight or something, and I wasn't feeling good, and I left. The next Monday, when I arrived in the classroom, there was my bra on my chair, and all the boys laughing and screaming at me, 32A. I had obviously left things there, and I felt so humiliated and a feeling of treason. Oh, whew. Oh, Emily, thank you for sharing that. That is, I can feel this. Like, I feel so much for your little 6th grade girl. Damn. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and we carry around these little wounds. So then at the women's intensive, I had to own up to spots I had been unkind to other women. Like times I decided to make a clique just in order, like, for me to feel safe is to have like my little clique of friends, but to see the impact of having left out other women. Yeah, or spots when I got bossy or dismissed other people's feelings. And so I just remember being at this women's retreat and just crying and being like, what are we doing to each other? What are we doing to each other as women? Like, why are we treating each other this way? And I feel like there's a real call to stop it. And I think it's, Emily says, right, my God, it's so clear. How do we kill each other? Yeah, I'm so glad we're talking about this. And I think the deepest thing is like, we do this to each other because we do this to ourselves. It's like we have learned to kill our own feminine in all of these little ways, and the consequences, then we kill other women. So I'll give you a couple examples because this may not make sense. The ways that we kill our own feminine: we deny our emotions. We say it doesn't matter. We move past them. We tamp down our desires. So we feel a desire for something like a massage or a vacation, and we're like, nope, we've got to keep working. We ignore our intuition. Like our bodies or intuition says something, and then we ignore it. We try to tough it out. Like maybe you're exhausted, but you're like, just got to keep going, tough it out. Get over it is another one. Any spot where we start to dismiss our feelings, our emotions, our desires, these are places where we are killing our feminine. So when I look back at what Rachel Hemsey said to me, when she was like, you hate other women, I can also see the spots where she was like, you hate your own feminine. Because at that time I was like, I was a consultant, I was running around, I didn't feel emotions very much, and my desires were secondary to what I was trying to produce and accomplish. And I can see, I'm like, wow, there's a way I was not treating myself very well. And it's like, we kill other women because we kill our own feminine. And so it's like, how do we heal this? And if you're watching this, like, can you see that in yourself? Like, can you see little spots where you kill your own feminine, your own desires, your emotions, your intuition? And I think healing this particular, there's different names for it, like the feminine wound, the witch wound, whatever. This particular wound of the spots we kill our own feminine and each other, I think about it in kind of 4 stages. So the first one is we have to see it. We have to be willing to see it in ourselves. And the relationship with ourselves. So the spots that we denied our emotions, ignored our desires, repressed our intuition, we have to see it in ourselves. Then we have to own it and forgive ourselves for it. Hey, Yasmin. We have to own it and forgive ourselves for the spots we killed our own feminine. And as we're doing that forgiveness inside of ourselves, then it becomes possible to own it and see it in our relationships with other women, in our friendships. And then as we do that, we can own it and ask for forgiveness. And I'll give you an example. Like, I just had a friend, and we were working together on a project, and she had some emotions come up. And I basically was like, okay, that's nice. Let's keep moving on the project. And she didn't say anything, but I could feel there was a little distance between us. Then I went back and I was like, hey, I just want to apologize. I can feel that I moved past your feelings in that spot, and that wasn't kind, and I'm sorry. And I think that, and she softened, and like our friendship like came back and the charge disappeared. But I think we have to be willing to do that with each other. To like own the spots when we're killing each other's feminine and come back to connection. So, and if you're watching, I'd love to just hear, like, how do you do this in yourself? Like, how do you look at the spots when you are killing your own feminine and own it and repair it? I think, like, one of my deepest desires is to create spaces for women to do this healing work. It's like the healing work between them and their own feminine and them and other women. Because it's like, without that, there is no juiciness in life. We can't take risks. We can't live pleasurable lives. We can't be bold. It's like that is the foundation of a life led by desire. Our relationship with our feminine and our relationship with other women. And I think there's something so powerful about having a space to specifically work on that. And so that was the inspiration behind Femme Rising, which if you're watching, you may know, this is the retreat I'm doing in September 14th through the 20th. And the desire, like, my image is women coming together from all over the world. And we have an amazing team of guest teachers, by the way, flying in from all over the world. They are exceptional. They all specialize in different things. Um, and just to heal their relationship with their feminine and with each other so that they can be more bold, more powerful, more badass in the world. So yeah, that's Femme Rising. And just personally, like, I longed for spaces like this for years. For years. And it wasn't until I went to my first women's retreat, probably 4 years ago, that my relationship with other women really started to shift. It was like without that immersive experience, and the focused attention on this particular pattern inside of me, it could not have shifted. So I want that for all of you. And if you're watching that and you're like, I want that for me too, then let us know. And I got inspired this morning. I'm going to do a girlfriend offer. And so a lot of women have reached out and they're like, I really want to come and I want to bring a friend. And so here's the offer. If you come with a girlfriend and come and sign up before June 15th, then you both will get 2 free coaching sessions and a goddess afternoon with massages when you get to Bali. So that is the offer. If you sign up before June 15th, you each get 2 coaching sessions and a massage. We have to enroll together. Yeah. So that's the offer. That's the surprise. I am so excited because I know that like it is such an amazing opportunity for the women that are coming to have that focused attention. Yeah, and Emily says the team for retreat's amazing. It is amazing. Emily is one of the guest teachers. She is like a badass expert around desire and sexuality and money, all things money. So yeah, it's like such a potent, powerful container. If you want to talk about it, if you have questions, send me a note. I will post the link to the retreat on the comments in this video. And yeah, the deadline for that surprise is June 15th. So let me know if you want to do that. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the Untamed and Unapologetic Challenge. It is near and dear to my heart because I think every woman in the world needs some of these messages. They're just like core foundational messages. So also, if this challenge resonated with you, make sure that you share it with your mom, your sister, your friend, your colleague, whatever, so that more women can hear this message and start to love themselves more. Yeah. All right. I love you guys. Have an amazing rest of your day.